Cause baby, you're a star, so let your light shine. Searching for your glow, never know what you might find. Tomorrows don't exist, so now is the right time to add that beat to your lifeline.
And then, and just even hearing from other people, the other professors who went there, they was like, man, it was just transformative in their life. They're like, we that was the wake up call, because now, just as when Jesus had risen from the dead, who were the first witnesses to then go spread it across? It's the same thing. They're spreading it across because they witnessed, they saw, and they're like, hold up, all right, we got to do something. Because now it's giving them this re-engagement, this new fervor that they have to go forth and even do what they thought they was doing was fulfilling. Now they got a deeper calling, like it's bigger than this. Because now, like my student just said before he left here, he's from Cameroon. He said, it's not about us and them. We're all the same. But he said, it's not until you go there and you can see I am me and you are me and I'm you, that, we have a common bond. And it's just that we've been displaced, that you're across this pond, just call this little body of water a pond. But once we come together, you start to realize, like, man, we got a lot in common. You do the same thing. And then you start to trace it back to our historical and our African roots. Is like, I see why we eat the same foods. Because one thing he just mentioned that was perplexing is that he did an internship this summer. In the internship, he was able to work with the National Institute of Health. And and he was in his research, he came across a study that showed that African-American men, 65%, I believe, are diagnosed or have been diagnosed with prostate cancer. And then he said he was shocking to know that Blacks, African-American men, also are 2.5 more times likelier to die from this than any other group of people. So I asked him, I said, so how did you, what did you derive from that? He was like, it's just, there's a lot of things, I died and where we are. And I said, to me, the way I saw it is we're like a fish out of water. You're out of your environment. Because you're out of your environment, you are susceptible to and prone to a lot more dysfunction. Because once again, when you go back home, he said that's so true, because he said, when I'm in Cameroon, the food is different. Here, they tell me I'm vitamin D deficient. But when I'm over there, I get all the vitamin D I need because I'm right there. The sunlight, we're not sitting in artificial rooms all day, UV rays. So he realized, he said, man, we just got to go back. I said, what, you preaching to the choir. Like, we got to go back. But once again, who's going to take that step? So this is why now, even talking to the students, I'm in a unique position, because I even told him what our sister said, that even a lot of the HBCUs across the country, there's no reason why every student who goes to HBCU it should be required that they go back to the garden during at least one semester, summertime, something, go do a project.
Before the year is over, you have to.
He said that's true. He said, no, because how can we call ourselves historically Black institution and we have no connection with Africa? I said, these are the type of things that we need to reenact. So the more people we see, the more experiences, the more of the recollection and reclaiming of our identities. This is the type of thing that will light that fire, that spark, to create the infrastructure and the initiative for our people to do our work back home. This is not even something you have to convince people to do. People who just went on this trip just last week, they're already hitting the pavement running. They're trying to find ways where they can fit in, where they can reach out, where they can make a change, just based on this 2-week experience. So you can imagine, once we get this ship and get this partnership rolling, where this is something that happens 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a year, or maybe even more frequent than that. Rites of passage. So there's so many things brewing right now, and you can tell there's something in the atmosphere because people are ready all across the globe. You can feel that energy. You can feel people igniting. You can hear the question. You can see people saying, I don't feel fulfilled, but I want to connect with my people again. I want to do more. Money is not an issue. That's one of the things I love about this foundation, is because a lot of the things we've done, we started without even having finances. The little that we had, we'll put to it. The next it multiplies. Next someone's dropping $20,000. Bam, that covered that project. Let's go. What's next? Bam, y'all want to do this? Boom, somebody drops another donation. Let's go to the next.
And it's homegrown, right?
It's cyclical, yeah.
The beautiful thing is, once you find out that a lot of the things that we've done or do back home, like, there's stuff on internet or TikTok where it'll show you words in patois that is in a tree, and how we were the same. One of the things we did see while we were there, when you talk about when the prodigal son came home, it says the father saw him a way off and then ran to go get him, and brought him in. So when the king got us, the whole place was packed. We were like, we weren't expecting that. We thought it was gonna be some kind of a secret thing. No, they made it a ceremony. Like one of our children had come home because they knew the whole DNA testing and all that stuff. So they had us sit in the corner. Then they took us into the room. Everybody dressed up, put on the bits of garments and so forth and so on, and then started doing dancing and stuff. So one of the girls started doing her song. The king took out a stack.
A stack
made
of what?
That joint rain on her, y'all. A stack of money, cash, just throwing it on her head. You know how we do. We've been doing that. Like when they used to put it in my shirt,
Bands
when they
like
Michael Jackson.
Bands.
As a little kid, I had my jacket on. This is before I started going to church, and y'all was indoctrinated me and threw me off. We used to go to outdoors where they do libation, and we was like, yeah, put the joint all in my shirt. So they were doing that to her, putting it on her forehead. And one of our professors, she go, so that's where we got it from. Ain't nothing new.
That's it. Bands make them dance. Yep.
Because the idea isn't the way it's been in a derogatory sense here. It was more of showering like more blessing, more energy. You're doing good. We want to honor you, that kind of a thing. So that's the origin of that. So when you see certain things, just like that one brother, when he put up the blood sign, remember when we went to Uganda, he said, this means unity. This means this,
yeah.
That's what it meant.
Like, bro, you can't do that in the United States. That means something totally different. He threw up the gang signs. He was like, but see, once again, that's the flip. Somebody saw it and took it and made that their own symbol. We know where it came from.
It's in your DNA.
Is it? It's
connected to who you are. So when all of us was watching the Alabama thing, and we felt not that violence is something that we care about, but just the unity, regardless of how it was showing up in the physical, the fact that we cared about each other instead of killing each other. Oh, we're not hearing about another black man killing a black man. A black man actually helping
your back, bro. They came out. We got your back.
This is the revolution we needed. This is what we needed. That's what people were feeling. So that's why it's viral, and they try to capitalize on it to bring it back under the lower vibrations. But the Most High said, sinew upon sinew, line upon line, here a little, there a little. So I do not consume you at once, but I'm raising them up in these years of the return. And
coming.
Ezekiel said, prophesy to the dry bones. Keep talking about it. Keep speaking about it. Because the more you speak about it, the Most High is moving it. All this technology and surveillance society, those are all cheap copies of what the Most High already done from the beginning. So when his children begin to realign themselves back to what the Most High said, back to Eden, that's why we call it Back to Eden Global. Then we saw the fruit of it with just that small group of 12, the disciples went there, mixed group, male, female, different age groups, different technical skills, different backgrounds, different areas of the world, all the different people mixing together and doing this work in Ghana, which is a portal country. It's its own sort of Alabama, because that's where a lot of the slave trade and stuff was going on. So to go back into those spaces and reclaim that energy and righteousness, let's keep watching the ramifications. So we watch the news based on what the Most High is doing, and then we read it from political standpoint and so forth and so on. We're always looking at it from the way the Most High is doing it, because that's the way Daniel looked at it. But as you said earlier, in the New Testament, they took you away from ancestors and say, all of us are one, no, we're all under it. Oh, Paul was saying it's for everybody. You see? So if you look behind, if you know how to read the New Testament, you understand it came from the Greco-Roman Hellenistic environment. Jesus, Zeus, all that over there. All those gods. Y'all call them mythological. I call them principalities and powers, rulers of darkness, world, spirits.
They even call them Greek gods. They call them Greek gods.
All those gods.
Call them by name, Greek gods.
When Daniel was praying, when he was bringing down the strongholds, what happened? An angel came and said what to him in Daniel chapter 10? The prince of the power, because of the infrastructural jurisdiction.
I got held up.
And he said the Persians, and then the Greeks. So he
repeated again.
Know, he said the Prince of Persia withheld me. Now I got to go back and fight. Remember, spirit space is not like time space because of the Greek. So he knew that was in Persian Empire. That's what Daniel was under at the current time. But the future he was seeing was what? Greco. So when he's doing that Babylon, the statue, he's giving you the Most High was giving him the insight. He was showing them right now, like he showed Enoch right now. This is right now, and the Most High is the only one who can open your eyes to his children, his prophets, his seers, to be able to prepare and warn the people for what is happening. We cannot move by the finance no more. We have to move by spirit, and then the finance is the currency. The Europeans understand that. That's why they put it. I hear it differently now when they're like, in Washington, it's like, hold on, in Washington, DC, Washington, that's the first president. That's the old team. They love their ancestors. They love their ancestors. They named the whole city after them, and the money, everything we worship, the Constitution. And if we can get everyone to bow
allegiance to the flag. Just listen to all the, let's call them, what do you say?
The worship,
chants,
all of that.
That we reverberate over time, and we don't think twice about it.
And you don't speak about nothing of anything of your ancestors. Anything.
The names of the lands, the landmarks. Who was here first? You took over. These are war zones. These are places like just the names in general. The more that you're there, you reinforce it, you add and create that energy. And you wonder why some places, some regions, there's a lot of chaos. You're like, oh, no, it's the people there. No. What happened in those lands before you got there? You don't even know.
Why I'm always questioning the big man, and why I take his way of teaching personal. Look, I'm just trying to manifest this big plan, with hopes to fill the void and find a purpose too. I asked why I take so long to write a verse or two. He said, I'm trying to work with you, make you much more versatile. Now I'm more for certain of this purpose in my heart. The only way